Hey guys, it's Anastasia, aka Allie, and I'm in here for part two, the KFC Otome game. I love you, Colonel Sanders. And basically, this is part two. I'm recording it again, and I'm gonna drop the audio from my original recording in so that you get my first impression reaction. And I want to say thank you to Starlex for helping me with this because I was having a lot of trouble recording my gameplay and I think I got it fixed. So let's hop into it. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Bzzz, womp. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer. Womp womp. No, your mother was a stand mixer. Whirr. Bzzz. Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know that this is a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on. Maybe I can help you with your business plan. Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny legs are very, very tired. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn. You try to give Sprinkles a pat on the head, but he snarls at you. Okay. Sorry. I get a little worked up if people try and pet me before I've had my morning coffee. Let that be a lesson to you. Sprinkles stops in his tracks and sniffs the air around you. Something has him in a trance. It's the scent left on you from Colonel Sanders. Sprinkles jumps on you and licks your face. Down, boy, down, auftoppen. That command shouted by Colonel Sanders has snapped Sprinkles out of his trance. I wonder what's up with that. Sorry, I got a little carried away. After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken! You want to pay attention to the lesson. Truly you do. Which is why in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken who first signed their name. But you can't help Dave dream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. He is pretty dreamy, I ain't gonna lie about it. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you. Well, Anastasia, naturally this appears to you to be a sample platter. Which item do you want to sample? Like a shimmering pepper, or a glass of water, or a dog biscuit? I'll go dog biscuit. Because of the shape it's baked in, you assume the dog biscuit is a treat made by Sprinkles, an example of his own culinary talent, perhaps? You reach out for it when Sprinkles jumps up and bites onto your cooking apron. What kind of monster would steal a dog's favorite biscuit? Your apron is left in tatters. The entire class looks on in horror as you fall unconscious from the embarrassment. I never even got to taste it. Is this the end? You fade into darkness, but something is there. The spork monster? Borko, what are you doing here? It's not your time, my friend. Your act of kindness has not been forgotten. You watch as your apron magically repairs itself. You won't have to live in embarrassment anymore. Thank you, my friend, wherever you are. Which item do you want to sample? I guess a glass of water. Grab the glass of water and gulp it down. It's cool and crisp, like the purest snow melted by a mountain spring. Hey, that was mine. It was from my favorite toilet. You owe me $6. Oh my god. And you've got excellent taste. You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention. Now, before I read this, I had clicked the pepper before, and it was like the last rare pepper on Earth, and it like was crazy hot or something, and it also made me go into a trance where I saw Borko. Okay, we all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you someday. This is also the response she gave me when he was mad that I ate the last pepper, so we're back on track. Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim, and your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via time competitive cook-off. The level of theatrics with these two is off the charts. Do I demand that they stop wasting everyone's time or step up and tell them, you're on? You're on, bitch. Bit of lunchtime competition, eh? Count me in. If I have to wipe the tables with you fools before I set my lunch down on it, then so be it. I'm not the fool. You're the fool. Fool. Good one, Van Van. I like your gumption, Anastasia. I'll be watching your performance. Oh, yeah? Okay, boo-boo. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkle steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness. Now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sporting court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least, not until we turn on the timer! Just then a huge light blasts you in the face, flashing the words, timer ready. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. I stand corrected. The hard way builds a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case anyone was wondering. I hope its message lifts you to victory. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now is my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself. Okay, crazy eyes. You had his chicken and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day 1, and you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. What temperature does water boil at? Celsius. That's right. But how would you have even gotten into the school without knowing that? When it gets to rub my furry belly, let that enticing offer motivate you. You're going to need to season this chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. How many herbs and spices do you say he used? 11. That's right. You might not know all of the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Tail wagging intensifies. Now that you've gotten some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. What state of mind offers the most flavor? Gratitude? That's right, you must never take this opportunity for granted if you hope to succeed. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Now would be a great time. Okay. Deep beneath the surface of the Pacific. No, that's wrong. Next question. You try to shut out the noises of the arena and focus on your cooking. What is the sign of success? Silence. That's right. When they taste your cooking, they will be so taken with it that they'll be unable to speak. You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye. I believe in you, Anastasia. He's actually cheering you on. Which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonfuls of gravy? Shit. Grrr. You were stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk. Ooh! I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Oof, oof. You're really struggling to keep up. At the next station over, Ashley's already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into a stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Yikes. Zzz. I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance utilized in a kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing the personal touch. Or you might not have any hands, but Alice Ishura does, and a good chef needs to be touching that dough to know when it's properly mixed. There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way. When you hear everyone talking and realize how serious your error was, you immediately shove your hand into the mixer to rescue your dough before it's overmixed. Alice Ishura, no! Oh my god. Oh my god. Did you hear that sound effect? That was wild. Oh, that's creepy. Oof. But you're not fast enough and your hand gets stuck. Oof. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. Colonel Sanders shakes his hand in shame. What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult. Everyone stops what you're doing right now. This battle is over. Can't be. I was so close to finishing my dish. Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on. Oh, that's too bad. And here I am with a completed dish ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. No, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two on account of Alice Ishura's injury. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops as he locks onto the dish. But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared. Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skipped straight to dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights, taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask Alice Ishura to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring this creamer of delicate, hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. It's really pretty, actually. But her dish looks like cracked or something. I don't know. Inside, you'll find a delicate fried cheese croquette atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream 2A's, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry gelée. Sounds good. Blueberry, honey, and cheese. I mean, fruit and cheese go well together, so I don't know. Might be good. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed as he dips his finger into the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you? As he places a sauce-covered finger onto his lips, Ashley leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. I did this also before. Like, I played this game a few times when I was trying to, like, figure out my recording, and my eyeballs, like, lit on fire or something. I'm gonna try this just to see how it goes. You reach out with your apron to wipe the sauce off his glistening face. Colonel Sanders recoils and brushes you back. This goatee isn't just a fashion statement, it's also functional. I was saving that flavor for later. Game over. Okay. So I have to internalize my rage. Okay, alright. This takes a long time to load, actually. Okay, so we're gonna do this again. Yep. Right. Okay. Okay, so let's do this again. Maybe we can get some of the right answers. 100 Celsius, okay. 11 spices. Okay. Trust? I don't know. Was it gratitude? Silence. Okay, he's rooting for me. That's good. Oh my god. Okay. Blip, 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 blip. Okay. That's so creepy. Okay, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna internalize my rage. So my eyeballs like catch on fire. Okay. So we're gonna internalize the rage you feel. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes they burst into flames. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash, and they fall off your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester, perhaps forever. Embarrassed and shamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you run for the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. His face. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fire. I'll never be a master chef. Failure is a part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well, think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you. Enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure. I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight, and I lost my innocence when I picked up a firearm and put a bullet in my rival. He survived, for a while anyway. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together, which is true now, but it hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure, it's honest, it's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle-scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the spork monster. Borko? It is I! I know I said I wouldn't be back, and after the whole fight to the death thing, maybe you don't really want to see me anymore, but I just wanted to say that I was wrong to attack you, and I apologize. I know what it's like having to always look over your shoulder. Monster problems, am I right? Aw, thanks, Borko. I'm glad there are no hard feelings. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark of night can really rile a person up. I also want to apologize for the way I switched right into attack mode. I know that you're strong, and cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to the school. I wasn't always a spork monster, you see. I don't believe it. You were a human once? Well, no. I was a golden retriever. But I was still a student. Until one day, some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. A magic spellbook. Precisely. I had procured a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg of you, respect it. You're a powerful chef, and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear. I will be there. Sounds like there's some bad cooks in the kitchen of life, Anastasia, or together I'm sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss. A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. Looks like he lives such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish she might be describing. It's meant to be paired with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps? Now you got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret, just for you? I've tried both. Let's try reveal it. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage just glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Magnificent! Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to that last one bite? I'd like to have it around so I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. I'm going to click this. Okay, scented candle. Pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of 69? Back in the summer of 69. That's like a John Bon Jovi song or something? No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's covered up by a big white box. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. I want to know about this chicken. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." Okay, tap on an item. Gaze out the window and across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Just then, the ghost of student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out into the world in a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack and the ghost of student swept out with the breeze. Okay, tap on an item. I like these, look at this picture. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. Like goatee and mustache combo with sports, you figure that it must be Colonel Sanders himself. That or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of the company they founded. Am I right? Oh yeah, we're going up in this bitch. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off of the hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he's been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until you see why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan these out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket! You forgot to take it off. Um, I, I'm gonna tell him the truth. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of being Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Anastasia? I honestly think this might be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence. Snoozin', snoozin'. Fried chicken with puppies. Ashley, Miriam, Clank, Bop, Van, the ghost boy. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, blank isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. Okay, I love biscuits with butter and honey. Does anybody else love that? Because it's delicious. Or butter and like maple syrup. And then I dip like some bacon in maple syrup too. Oh, it's so good. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine in your taste buds, that is. Oh. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? I don't know if I've had this option. Take him down a peg or flatter him. I mean... I don't know. Let's take him down a peg. It's good, but my mom made better. Colonel Sanders' expression goes serious. Did your little jab land too hard? Colonel, I know what you're going to say. I need to be better if I'm going to leave my mark on this world. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eyes as he gazes out the window. I'm the right business partner. I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date! I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered up with Pop, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him, you'd better harness those wild horses, young man. I'm not that kind of girl. But he just is interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know the little guy. Long story short, he took me to his favorite shush-hush house, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say shush house, as if that's a thing people say? What is that even referring to? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up all the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. Your what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection? Wowzers. Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, although he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dip, too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school? There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, Alice issue. I understand to pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer attack makes you wince with pain. It doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Alcissiora, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say. It was bland. Excuse me, Alice Issue, I am more than capable of speaking for myself. Okay, rude. Maybe you could tell me more about your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, Alice Tishiora. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spellbook you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, that's the book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it were really that powerful? If it weren't really powerful. I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use a spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else? Like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine. It is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you and a pretty good excuse to try it out. I'm not gonna do that, okay, because he's just a guy. Alright, he's just a guy. You take your friend's advice to put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. Okay, I'm gonna give him some old homework. He reaches into a backpack and grabs some homework from last semester that you forgot to turn in. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles the sheet of paper like it's a piece of fresh chicken rawhide. I apologize for the outburst. I know it seems cliche, but not much in this world satisfies like ungraded work. My house issue, were you studying something like cinnamon? I've been sitting in on a lecture series around the art of cake baking. How insightful! This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Alstashua, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bits of wisdom. You see, but before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by sad whimpering coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class. But I miss you. We went on one date, Pop, and how can you miss me when I'm right here? Pop's voice quivers as he pleads his case to Miriam. Every time I blink, you go away again. That's a really cute thing to say. Miriam, what happened between you and Pop? I got her in trouble and now she's mad at me. I didn't just get in trouble. I got yelled at by Pop's mother, who blames me for getting him banned from every museum we set foot in. Oh, so that's what she meant by shush house. Pop, we went on one date. We're over. And it meant so much to me that I made this for you. Oh boy, it's got a boiled egg, pretzels, corn, peas, frosting, and chocolate? Sprinkles. To her to go on arguing, Pop leaves this creation behind and runs out of the room. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition, showdown, challenge, exam! I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so bad I could smash my tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa was a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're going to cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. I'm just going to pause and say that it's true. You don't need anybody to find happiness, and you should be able to find happiness yourself. That way, when you get into a relationship, you're already in a good place in your mind. You know what happiness is, so you know if somebody makes you unhappy, because you got to be happy to know what makes you unhappy. So, yeah, being single is perfectly fine. Go for it. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me. Of course not. Well, maybe, sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. It's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year. So what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. So, true, guys. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm gonna make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. Alright, I'm gonna pause it right here because I know how much is left and I want to have a part 3. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'm going to upload part 3 and part 2 probably together, or at least one day apart, something like that.